Alright, so this is the Chapter 6, Practice Quiz 3. It's the second worksheet in your Practice Quiz 3 folder. So it says, write an if statement that assigns 100 to x when y is equal to 0. I'm not going to write these out, I already wrote them down, but if y equals 0, x equals 100, don't do it backwards. Don't go if x equals 100, y equals 0. I've had kids do that in the past. But you should be able to write these all out by hand again. Print these, do them on your own, give them a good shot, and then check your work with the answers and my video if you need explanation. Write an if statement. If-else statement that assigns 0 to x when y is equal to 10. Otherwise, it should assign 1 to x. So if y equals 10, x equals 0. Else x is equal to 1. 3. Using the following chart, write an if-else if statement that assigns 0.1, 0.15, or 0.2 to the commission, depending on the value in sales. So here's my commission rate, and I get these depending on how much my sales are. Up to 10,000, so that doesn't include 10,000. 10,000 to 15,000 is 15%, and over 15,000 is 20%. So here's the logic model that I created using Lucidchart. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger just because. So if commission's less than 10,000, if that's true, yes, then the commission rate is 0.1. No, we got to check to see if the sales are greater than or equal to 10,000 and the sales are less than or equal to 15,000. If they are, then the commission rate is 0.15. Else the commission rate is 0.2, and you can see my if-else structure right there. 4. Write an if statement that sets the variable hours to 10 when the flag variable minimum is equal to true. So you got minimum, that's just, it's either true or false, and if it is, put the hours to 10. So if true, if minimum's true, hours is 10. 5. Write nested if statements that perform the following test. If the amount, so this is typically something that a lot of kids would miss on the test, so pay attention to this one. It's a nested if statement, so if the amount 1 is greater than 10 and amount 2 is less than 100, display the greater of the two. So this is your first if-else or if statement. So if it's greater than 10 and the amount is less than 100, that gets us into the first part. Then we got to display which one's greater, amount or amount 1 or amount 2. So if amount 1 is greater than 10 and amount 2 is less than 100, we got to check to see is amount 1 greater than amount 2. If it is, amount 1's larger. Else amount 2 is larger. So it's nested because this if-else structure is inside this if statement. 6. Write an if-else or write an if statement that prints the message the number is valid if the variable grade is within the range 0 through 100. So 6. If it's greater than or equal to 0 and it's less than or equal to 100, the number is valid. So that's in the range. 7. Write an if statement that prints the message the number is valid if the variable temperature is within the range -50 through 150. So it's greater than or equal to 50 and it's less than or equal to 150. It's valid. 8. Kids mess up on 8 as well. Write an if statement that prints the message the number is not valid if the variable hours is outside the range 0 through 80. So if it's outside that range, it's not valid. So if number is less than 0 or it's greater than 80, it's not valid. So it needs to be within the range. It needs to be greater than or equal to 0 and less than equal to 80. So the or, this is checking for or, is it outside that range? And the best way maybe to think about this is like draw like a, like a number line. So you'd have, negative 10, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So anything greater than over this way going on the timeline, that would be invalid, and anything less than 0 over on this side would be considered invalid. That might be the best way, and I can't really create a number chart here, but at least I've got the numbers here and I'm explaining it. But that would be the best way to think about it. Anything between 1 and 79 over here would be valid numbers. And so anyway, so do this and do this, watch my videos, check your work. But with 3 big practice quizzes with multiple documents in each and multiple written programs, you guys should be good to go on the quiz and the test for this chapter. So this video is done.